What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I am your tech stuff guy, Jay Nog, and we are here, of course, with the President of the United States of Mar-a-Lago of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, as
We
you can
have
see.
Mr. President.
Excuse
I'm
me.
sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, I don't
We
think
have
it's,
breaking.
excuse me. We'll break news after I break wind, okay? But you see, do you see how holy I am now? Do you see how it's all
Yes.
white behind me? It's like I'm in heaven, looking down on America, because America needs help from above. And you would interrupt me. So I'm feeling very holy, very blessed, very pure and innocent. Because you see how, look at how it's just a beautiful heavenly glow behind me. And it's just natural that we're not doing lights. We just opened the windows and it was like, God was like, you are better than me. Maybe some people say. Okay, so now that I've answered your question and not been really interrupted talking about how pure and innocent I am, what is so breaking news that the tech stuff guy had to scream in my ear and be very disruptive and disrespectful?
Well, my apologies, but the January 6th committee
The
has
fake committee, the fake.
yes, they have finally had there's an outcome to all their research and all their questioning, and they would like to refer you for criminal prosecution on 4 counts.
1, 2, 3, 4. Congratulations, they can count to 4. That's what they have me on. Who's is the count from Sesame Street? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what they have me on that. Is the Cookie Monster going to come attack me soon?
Well, I didn't even get into there's 4 counts. I didn't get into what they are. If you'd like to break them down or defend yourself,
Well, you've got
give me your
Count
opinion.
Chocula, Count Dracula, Count Basie, who was a black who did jazz, and you have is there a 4th count? No, there's only 3 counts.
Yeah, I think you're right. But
Well, then,
we're talking
okay.
about
So they
different
don't know
counts
what
here. We're talking about different counts. These counts are not characters; they aren't people. The counts are
Truth
what
Social,
they
you
like
can
to
have more than
prosecute you
you
with.
can have a lot of characters on Truth Social. We don't limit you like Twitter. Very radical.
It is very radical, Twitter. We're going to talk about Twitter later, but I want to talk to you about these 4 counts. The first one is influencing or impeding an official proceeding of the United States government.
Okay. So I'm a social media influencer because not only did I have millions of followers on all platforms, I created my own social media. It's called Truth. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Truth Social.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm a social media influencer, and now they want to say I'm being accused of a crime for influencing. What the hell is that? So I'm an influencer, and now that's a crime. I have a question. Was it a crime before I did it? No, no. In fact, it was a career. But now Trump is social influencing more than he's truth social influencing. We have to stop it. We have to shut it down. It's now a crime. We refer to you to Sleepy Merrick Garland, boring Merrick, influencing. He's social under the influence. Horrible, horrible crime.
Well, Liz Cheney really wants your ass in jail for Christmas. That's what she really wants. She has been fixated on you and this whole situation, and she's finally got what she wants is 4 hopeful charges against you in her eyes.
She's upset. She lost her job. She's now going to be an unemployed pug. And she'll probably have to resort to OnlyFans or YouPorn or something and be like, who wants, when you click on the tab for thick, miserable Republican blonde, you'll get Liz Cheney, walking around complaining and then probably, having sex with a cow in Wyoming. And maybe that'll be, I don't know, maybe that'll be a popular tab on, Rhino Pornhub.
I don't think influencing has to do with like an influencer.
Are you
It's
an
like you.
influencer?
I don't think
You're
it's
not
like
even
you.
on. I don't know which tech stuff guy you are. We get a new one every week, but you're not
Mhm.
even on Truth Social.
I'm not.
So How would you know what's influencing?
Well, they would talk about it would say influencer if they were talking about like the people who influence, but
Well, an
it's about
influencer
you having an
influences.
impact on the proceeding of the US government.
Well, tech stuff. I was president. Of course, I have an impact on the government. I was leading the government. That's called Maximum Impact, which is also a title on Netflix, starring Carrie Lake, Roger Stone's wife, and Sleepy Ben Carson.
I like to see that one. I got to put it in my queue. Can I go to the second one?
Well,
Okay.
we don't
The
do
second
cancel
one.
culture, so go to the second one.
Conspiring to defraud the United States.
I had an election stolen from me. That's the fraud. I want to stop fraud. They call that defrauding. Unbelievable. It's like they have it backwards. That would be like if somebody walked into your house and stole your trophy for winning Tech Stuff of the Year in Tech Stuff magazine, and they steal your trophy, and you call the police and say they stole my trophy. You got to stop them.
Mhm.
And then they put you in jail for attempted theft of your trophy. What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
I don't know if it's the same thing.
No, it's more important. You know, nobody cares about your trophy, but everybody, the presidency is a little more important than Tech Stuff of the Year from Tech Stuff magazine.
Well,
Which is not a
what-
very good magazine, by the way.
It's horrible. What they're, I think, trying to say here is that your opinion on being frauded is just your opinion. They don't think there's any factual evidence for this. So therefore, you're defrauding the US considering they think yours is an opinion. Like, you know, like I love the color green and you might love the color red. It's different opinions. It's not fact. There's not
No,
one
no,
color
no. The
that's the best.
difference, excuse me. The difference is when I say my money is green and they say, no, sir, it's actually red. Sleepy Joe. That's the difference. Not opinion, fact. It was stolen. I don't have the opinion it was stolen. I wouldn't, I would say I feel like it was stolen if it were my feelings or opinions. I know with strong knowledge and total knowledge. In fact, I went to one of those. You ever see Come On, where they have kids go learn?
No, but keep going.
KUMON. It's like these learning centers all over the place. Come on. You know, they're probably grooming kids, but they say they're learning. They say they're teaching them things. And I went into one of those things and said, excuse me, teacher person, stop your tutoring session. Stop coming on kids, whatever the hell you're doing at Come On. And I need to know, is it my opinion or is it fact that the election was stolen? And I saw this person, you know, had a T-shirt that said, I was homeschooled and fucked my teacher, which I thought, this is my kind of voter. This is going to be somebody who's very reasonable on voter fraud and elections. And they said to me, sir, and that's always a good sign when they say, sir, at Come On Learning Center.
Yes.
They said, sir, it was stolen from you, sir. And they looked at the kid that they were teaching or doing whatever with, grooming. And they said, did you hear that? This is our president and still our president. And they said, yes, please, more Come On Learning, please. And then I left. So a lot of people feel this way. It's called the silent majority.
Now, if this was truth, wouldn't there be more concrete evidence so these charges wouldn't be brought up to you by the federal government?
When the people who stole the election are in charge of the election, guess what, Tech Stuff? They don't say, oh, you want to see how we stole the election? Right here. No, they're going to hide it. They're going to hide the salami, Mike Pence's favorite game. They're going to hide it, and they're going to hide it very secretively, very quietly, and very corruptly. And that's what they're doing.
Okay. The third charge that they'd like to uh, file is unlawfully, unknowingly, or willingly making false statements to the federal government. That one I think is a little silly, that one right there, but I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
I don't know if you ever said anything to, if you ever said to the federal government, how's the weather outside? I think it's cloudy. Well, it's sunny. You're under arrest. You knowingly, unknowingly, possibly, maybe, definitely thought, considered, reflected, discussed, had a daydream, had a wet dream in the presence of a federal officer, and they didn't like it. You're under arrest, charged with a nasty crime by the fake committee. That's what that is.
Well, if you are doing this knowing that you're doing something wrong or that you're saying something that's not true, then they do have a point.
Read it again. Knowingly,
Unlawfully, knowingly, or willingly making false statements to the federal government. So basically, you're lying to the federal government and you know you're lying to the federal government.
I mean, that's totally false. I told the truth. I have an entire website called Truth Social.
I was going to say, did you
And
tell Truth Social?
I told Truth Social, and it was truthed. It was truthed. They, if it was false, they would reject it and say, "Take this shit to false social. This is Truth Social." So I didn't.
That's
I
what it
didn't
does.
know
It has like a brain and it will reject a truth if it's not truthful.
It has AI. They call that AI. We kidnapped Allen Iverson and put him in a basement and put a computer in front of his face, and he has to tell us because his name, the nickname was the answer. So he has the answers. We say, AI, when you see a truth, you have to approve it. Give it the answer, yes. And if it's false, you say, I'm talking about practice. And you say no.
All right. And the last charge here that wants to be brought up against you is assisting or engaging in insurrection against the United States.
Okay, well, this is the only charge that I think they're mistaken, that they made a mistake. Now, what they're talking about is when Carrie Lake visited me in the White House, we engaged with my erection.
Okay. So they just
And she
have
was
the words
screaming,
all
no,
wrong.
excuse me. She was screaming, stuff my ballot, sir. Stuff my ballot, sir. And I said, take all the votes. I'm going to treat your vagina like it's a inner city voting mailing box. We're going to stuff it with too much content. And she was screaming, stuff my ballot. And she said, this is an erection at the Capitol. And that's what happened. So I will actually, I'm going to be nicer than the radical left fake committee is being and say that I think they made a mistake there. I think the first three charges are totally nonsense and disgusting and false and would not pass AI on Truth Social. And this charge, I think, is just maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's jealousy that I was destroying Carrie Lake and that she wanted to leave her husband. She even said it recently. She said at another rally, she said, my husband's my second favorite man. Donald Trump is my favorite man.
She did say that.
You know, and that's why on Valentine's Day, you know, she's coming to Mar-a-Lago and her husband has to sit in the chair and watch us. I mean, she's not only is she sort of a possible vice president, she's also almost, I think Roger Stone's wife might get jealous of her in terms of she's almost coming for Roger Stone's wife's territory as well. She said to me, sir, I would let the entire NRA dominate me one after another if I could just have your endorsement, sir.
Wow.
So
that's huge.
You know, I think maybe in 2023 we might see a Carrie Lake versus Roger Stone's wife competition at Mar-a-Lago.
Wow, that would be like kind of like a combine.
Sponsored by Dannon Yogurt.
Okay. What events would happen during this competition?
Hot dog eating contest.
Of course.
a ballot stuffing competition,
Okay.
and a Hershey Highway speed test. And it would be fascinating because it'd be like sport, you'd have the savvy veteran, Roger Stone's wife.
And people can bet on it, of course, right?
Well, you bet. When I think we know where they could bet on it, in fact, and I think it might be aimed at, but I think it would be fascinating. It'd be like the veteran Roger Stone's wife, who has every trick in the book, and basically sounds like an empty highway tunnel when she walks, versus Carrie Lake, the sort of super aggressive 2.0 talent that's willing to do, wants to get to that level and above. So, no, I think it'd be very interesting.
Lake versus Stone. I like that. Mr. President.
Wow.
Yes.
That tech stuff. I know we already put the Epi nominations in, but if there was a tech stuff moment of the year, that might have been it. But we don't have a tech stuff category, so yeah,
We don't.
luck.
It's all right. I'll live in this moment right now.
And how about, I mean, the promos will be great. It's like you can't out pound the stone, but you can't out drown the lake. So it's I don't know. I'm excited.
Those names give a great storyline, so you can go anywhere with them. That's I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully we can capture it live on the podcast. It'd be great if we can go cover it there.
We'll do like a commentary. We'll do like a commentary, like
Yeah.
like the old days with the radio before they, got woke and forced, other people to do radio and TV.
Also, the Eppies are coming, and it is a new date now. The Eppies will be on Friday, December 30th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. That is a Friday night, 12:30. So the day before New Year's, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard
The day
Time.
before New Year's Eve tech stuff.
That's right. You know what I meant.
Well, it's Adam and Eve, and it's New Year's Eve. It's not
You're right.
Adam. It's not New Year's Adam and Steve.
You are correct. I misspoke. The Eppies, the day before New Year's Eve on 12:30 Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, and voting for our Patreon Patriots will start Tuesday. Tuesday, you can vote for the Eppies, and it will be released on the Patreon, and you can vote. Looking forward to that as well, Mr. President.
I have to post. I'm posting a truth.
Okay, post that truth.
It's Christmas Eve, not Christmas Steve. Truth. And that is a total truth.
Now, Mr. President, you had a rally recently in Phoenix, Arizona. People love you in Phoenix, Arizona. Young conservatives are praising both you and DeSantis. They have not chosen which side to go on when it comes to the Republican Party. Is there anything that you can say right now to young Republicans to sway them to your side, or anything to basically knock DeSantis out of this race early?
And I'm not mad at young Republicans. Old Republicans who switch sides should be shot and buried alive. Mm-hmm. But young Republicans, you have to respect them because they've grown up in a fake news cycle.
Right.
And all they see is Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. And they even see, if they're not watching great places like OAN and Newsmax, if they're on Fox, they'll see people start to go, oh, what about DeSantis? Let's forget about the greatest president we've ever had because we're scared. We're scared to stick up for him. So if you're a young Republican, you say, oh, well, everybody's talking very nicely about DeSantis because he hasn't had the spotlight. I've taken all the heat, and DeSantis just gets to live under my protection and run Florida like a little fuck me boot troll that he is. And he walks around in his white boots and his fat dumpy body going, hey, and everybody attacks me and he gets to live under my protection. And now he's out there and everybody's. So young Republicans, what I would say is, as somebody who's been married many times and has had strong, powerful Christian affairs, you're with a wife, you're with somebody, and they say, oh, that's a nice piece of ass right there. I'd like to experiment and see. But what you realize is, when you have your little fling with DeSantis, you realize, okay, So he's a little fat and chubby, so he does more stuff in bed. But I can't make a permanent relationship with this. I gotta have a Donald the Stallion kind of thing, like Megan the
Right.
Stallion. You gotta have a
Yes.
Donald the Stallion, and you've got to realize that this is built for the long haul. Ron DeSantis is like a fat little basset hound that you say, oh, it's nice, and it walks around your house. But then you realize, no, you need a strong German Shepherd. Okay, you need the one that's going to be strong,
Mhm.
that's going to attack blacks during civil rights marches, that's going to attack blacks during police raids. A German Shepherd of a president. That's what you want, not a fat basset hound of a fuck me boot wearing Florida turd.
You, s-
Bars.
you swayed me. You swayed me. Then, Mr. President, we have two more news stories here. World Cup champion Argentina.
Oh, we love
Argentina took the World
Argentina.
Cup in
Weren't they
penalty
great?
kicks. They were great. I just don't think a World Cup or any soccer game should be decided by penalty kicks. I think that's corny. It doesn't really determine who the
This
best
one,
soccer team is.
normally I don't even watch soccer, but I accidentally caught about 2.5 hours of the game when I was flipping channels.
Yes.
And what I will say to you is, it was like France was all black. It was like the 1940s. All the jazz artists were in Paris, because it's too conservative in America. They're doing strong, patriotic lynchings. So we've got to go
They're
to
mixed.
somewhere that will be
They have
nice.
black and white players.
But they had a lot of blacks.
Okay.
We call them fracks, French blacks. They were fracking. They were fracking, but not the good fracking. Okay, that's when we get great resources from Earth. They were fracking, and meanwhile Argentina was filled with great people. Great people from, that's where, when in World War II, when the world got very woke against Hitler, they got very woke and very PC.
Mhm.
And a lot of them had to flee to Argentina, and they became very good at soccer, and they spoke Spanish to blend in. So very smart, very smart.
Yes.
And they combine their German skills with their Spanish speaking, and all of a sudden they dominate soccer. And I bet you Europe right now is looking at that going, I wish we'd kept some of them in Europe. I wish they'd stayed in Europe. I wish they hadn't left. They were doing interesting things, and look at the success they've had in Argentina.
I mean,
Okay.
Germany did get knocked out very early. So
Because they let all their talent, all that talent just left. They just left. And now you have woke Germany losing in the World Cup, while conservative, non-politically correct Germans with Spanish accents are winning soccer tournaments. So I don't want to say anything that will get, Kanye or Kyrie in trouble,
mhm.
but I'm just saying, you look at the results, and I don't know. It seems to be working out pretty well for Argentina. You ever see one of these guys? It's like they got a German name. It's like, my name is Diego Hitler, and I play soccer, and it's like, very nice to meet you, Diego Hitler.
Mr. President, we have one more story, but making podcasts great again is also brought to you by Rocket Money. Rocket Money is the best website that I've discovered this past year in 2022. I subscribe to so many different websites, and they'll say, oh, we'll give you a free 3 months and put your credit card in, and then you forget about it. Like, I discovered that I was being charged for like $120 something for a year. Got that back this past year using Rocket Money. Rocket Money is the best website to go to save money, and also to find out what you're spending money on that you don't even know you're spending on. The app shows all your subscriptions in one place and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you don't even know that you're paying for. You may even have subscribed to something twice and being double charged for the subscription. And guess what? Rocket Money will take care of this. To cancel subscription, all you have to do is press cancel on it, and then Rocket Money takes care of the rest. They don't have to call someone at customer service, and you have to call someone and then get your credit card canceled and get that email. Rocket Money takes care of it all for you. Get rid of the useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Go to rocketmoney.com/MPGA. Save yourself some money. Seriously. It could save you hundreds per year. That's rocketmoney.com/MPGA. Cancel your unnecessary subscriptions right now. Do it before the holidays start. Get some extra cash in your pocket. Again, it's rocketmoney.com/MPGA. Mr. President, Elon Musk, this guy loves to be in the news. For a real introvert and a weirdo, this guy loves the attention. And
And by the way,
Yeah.
I think I saw on Truth Social, some of our patriots were saying that they think maybe Elon Musk should be a guest on the show. We can discuss Truth Social versus whatever the site he runs. I've never even heard of it.
I don't know, Twitter or something like that. I don't even know what it's called. But we can definitely bring Elon Musk over in 2023. Maybe the first guest of the new year. That would be awesome. To have
Start the
two
year
of the
off.
richest men in the world debate over social media.
We start off New Year's Eve with a bang with Roger Stone's wife, and we start off the podcast with a bang with Ethan Musk.
That's right. Well, he likes to give power to the people for some reason, but then lies about it and then censors people. It's very strange. But he put a poll on Twitter. Should Elon Musk step down as the owner and head of Twitter? And right now, I think over 12 million people voted that he should step down from Twitter. If he does step down from Twitter, is there a place in True Social for Elon Musk?
No, there's not. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I don't think he can bring anything to the table.
Mm-hmm.
He's showing to be Twitter was a mess, but he's actually made it messier somehow. Like, he's the guy sent in to clean up the bathroom and then just takes a shit in his hand and smears it on the wall and says, "All done, bro." What is that? This is what he's done. So I don't know what he would bring to Truth Social other than sort of weirdness. He seems like a weird guy. I respect that he's done some very impressive things, but he's frankly, he's an ugly guy. He's a weird guy. He doesn't seem to be very good at all at social media. And I wish him the best, but we don't need that at Truth Social.
No, we do not. So, Mr. Musk, if you fail Twitter, it looks like there is no chair for you on another social media platform. Again, everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. And I want everybody to have Merry Christmas, right? We're not going to see everybody until after Christmas. So
I'll say this. Tech stuff.
Sure.
Happy Hanukkah. We have many Jewish listeners, and in the spirit of that, to all our Jewish supporters, I say Merry Christmas. And if you are one of our great African Americans who celebrates Kwanzaa, I say to you Merry Christmas. And if you celebrate Christmas, I say to you Merry Christmas. And I want to tell the people also, if the Patreon people, Tuesday, you're going to have the ballot for the Uppies available. Only, don't go sharing it. It's only for Patreon people. They can vote.
That's right.
And then on Wednesday, you're going to get strong presidential movie reviews. Emancipation with Will Smith and Avatar 2.
So that's what's coming up for all the Patreon patriots. And of course, you will get this episode before anyone else. Epi voting will start Tuesday for the Patreon patriots. And again, the Eppies, we had some new perfect 10s come in today. I think 3 or 4 perfect 10s came in today. Getting prepared for the Eppies on December 30th. That's Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. And also, don't forget to go to rocketmoney.com/MPGA. It's rocketmoney.com/MPGA. Trust me, you will thank me for guiding you towards rocketmoney.com because you will save some money, and it is awesome. Worked out for me, worked out for the president. I think the president saved millions of dollars in subscriptions.
Millions.
So rocketmoney.com/
with a B.
with a B. rocketmoney.com/MPGA. And Come check out this comedian JL Colvin and I next month in January at the Brokerage Comedy Club, January 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern and January 7th at 7 p.m. And Mr. President, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Tech Stuff. This was a very powerful episode that everybody can be thankful for as Christmas approaches. Hello, everybody. It's JL. Yes, as Jay said, we got January 6th and 7th at the Brokerage in Long Island. I will be in Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh Improv January 19th. I'll be at the City Winery in Chicago on February 7th. DC area gigs coming in early February, just hammering out the details. And then March 3rd, Boston City Winery. And if you want to mark your calendars, it's official. My 8th hour will be taped March 31st and April 1st in New York City. The question remains, will my 7th hour be released before I record my 8th hour? And the answer looks like yes. It looks like in January, I will have more information about my special Half Blackface. It's been a long 38 years getting this thing made, and it seems like we are now finally on the cusp. And on top of that, if you're listening to this and you don't know what to get a loved one for a gift, cameos from me are always a welcome gift. So check that out. Check my other podcast out. There's a great one out this week going up Tuesday, Righteous PK podcast. And when you're done listening to Making Podcasts Great Again, scroll jlcomedy.com for a bunch of stuff, except for my albums, which are all off of all streaming platforms because my comedy career has been cursed by God. So on that note, God help us all.